Hello traders, Rich here and welcome to Kucoin as episode 26, and today we are going to go over Bitcoin detailed analysis. As usual, if you don't know about Kucoin, it's one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world with over 700 billion traded volume on the platform and 10 million registered users from more than 200 different countries. Kucoin has many features like margin trading, spot trading, trading bot, mining pool, staking, lending, and many more with over 700 listed coins. If you don't have an account yet, I'll make sure to attach my referral link in the description below. And if you create an account through it, you'll benefit from 20% discounts on your trading fees. So let's get started. And as usual, cheers. As we clearly see, Bitcoin is still stuck inside this range between 25K and 18K, and we are currently sitting around the lower band. So yes, the boost can still kick in from here, of course, unless we have an aggressive daily candle close below the 18K, below the lower band of the range. In this case, further bearish movement would be expected till our next demand or rejection zone from 10 to 12K. And by break, I mean an aggressive daily candle close just like this one. Meanwhile, we are still above the range, above the low bound of the range. So let's take it step by step. And if we zoom into H4 time frame, we know that we have been trading inside this ascending triangle for a while, and we have been trading the range upward and downward until, of course, eventually the zone is broken upwards or downwards. So now or lately, Bitcoin rejected the upper band and we traded lower. I'll show you the view from lower time frames in a bit. And we are currently sitting around the lower band. That's why we'll be speculating or expecting the boost to take over. But of course, we need extra confirmation for that. Before I zoom into M30 time frame, for the boost to take over from a medium-term perspective, we need to see an aggressive H4 candle close, just like, for example, this one here or this one above this area, which is around 20K 500. In this case, further upward movement to the 22,500 would be expected till this supply zone, which is also a minor supply resistance from daily time frame. For now, let's take it step by step. If we zoom into M30 time frame, we know that the bears took over by breaking below this major right here. So we are now bearish and we are following the same logic as we did previously. We are waiting for the boost to take over to expect a short-term bullish movement, just like what happened here, and here as well. Of course, meanwhile, until the bulls take over by breaking above it, we are now bearish because the bears took over here and we are making lower lows and lower highs. We had our first impulse movement, breaking below the previous low, correction, and we are currently in the next impulse movement. So for the bulls to invalidate this bearish trend, we need to see a break above the last major high. That's why you see my alert right here, and which is obviously this one here. Meanwhile, if the H4 candle closes aggressively below this area, in this case, the trend line would be invalidated. It would no longer be holding the price up, and further bearish move would be expected. It would be an impulse, correction, impulse, and so on. In this case, we'll be following the same logic. We'll be waiting for this high, for example, to be broken upward for the boost to take over. Meanwhile, we would be bearish and we can still trade lower and lower. Okay, so if you want, long story short, we are still trading inside this big ascending triangle, waiting for the boost to take over. Meanwhile, we are bearish and we are expecting further bearish movement. That's it for today. Best of luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.